Welcome, Gryphon fans, to the Gryphon Nation Football Show of the Week. It was a tough loss last week, but I really want to just say a huge thank you to our Southwest community for coming out, supporting our kids, our band, our cheerleaders, football team. It was a great atmosphere for high school football, and really the first time since maybe Parkview Week Year 1 that we've had that many people. So just really want to say thank you to the Southwest community. Hot Springs game, again, it was a tough loss. Our kids fought their tails off, played a heck of a game. So did Hot Springs, and we just came up on the short end of the stick. Coach, tell us a little bit about some of the offensive highlights and players of the week.
Yeah, Coach, like you said, it was kind of a bit of a heartbreaking, just considering, where the direction that we're heading towards. Offensive yards, Coach, we had Chase Forte. He was 13 for 26, about 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have one NIT turnover. We didn't really run the ball that well this week. Hot Spring did a good job of bundling us up in the box. Okay, when you run the football, you can't turn the ball over either.
Yeah.
We did have a fumble on that. And then receiver-wise, we had Logan White. He had 4 catches for 110 yards for 2 touchdowns. And so he had a big game.
He could have had a third one if he'd just lowered his shoulder.
Golly.
Just lower his shoulder a little bit.
That's right. And so also to add to it, Jabron Lewis, we got the ball to him early. He had 6 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown. And so those two guys right there are receivers of the week. Offensive line-wise, you have Montrell Martin and Brandon Bryant, and then you have Chase Forte for backs. And so I think really for our offensive MVP, guy Logan White goes to him. So
one thing, let me go back to Jabron. One thing about Jabron, he had 6 catches, but he had 3 PIs against him as well.
He did.
We 3 times we threw it vertical, and he was behind D-backs, and they were holding him, and so we got 3 pass interference calls as well. Coach, this is the first time since I've been here that, and I love good defense, but I can say I thought our defense, they have turned the corner, and here they come. Tell us about the defensive performance Friday night.
Well, obviously we did what we wanted to do. We limited their passing game. Now with that, we've got to do a better job stopping the run.
Right.
Some of that was what we were doing. They were running the middle ISO play because we had our outside backers too far back. And they should have folded in and made the tackle a little sooner, but they're gaining 6-7 yards down the field. But we were fine with that after giving up 61 points to them last year. But we had 7 turnovers the other night, 7 takeaways. We had 1 interception, 3 fumble recoveries, and 3 turnover on downs. So that's 3 fourth down stops, and those were all in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
when
red zone.
we were trying to get the ball back. 2 of them were on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
So us to jump out there and have a goal line stand, that was big. So, not too concerned about the yardage that they gained because they took advantage of some of the things we were giving them. But as far as players go, Daryl Moore had 21 tackles.
Wow.
That's the highest I've had since Joseph Lewis at McClellan. But he had 21 tackles, 28 production points. Jalen Waits was our MVP. He had 15 tackles, had 2 caused fumbles, had 1 fumble recovery, and he had 32 production points. Ja'Shawn Edgiston had 20 production points as a defensive lineman. He had 12 tackles. And then Turquan Anderson had 6 tackles, and he had 29 production points, and he created 1 interception down on the goal line when they threw a ball on a post route, and he undercut the receiver and batted the ball to Mekhi Muhammad,
right,
who caught it and ran it back down the field. So it was 19-6 at half. Should have been a shutout at half.
Right.
They scored on a 4th down scramble by the quarterback, 4th and 9.
And we had him.
We had him, but our contained player, was the outside linebacker on that particular play, and we're in zone coverage, and he chased the receiver to the middle of the field instead of passing it off to the linebacker. He would have been sitting right there and would have made that play because he made that play later on in the fourth quarter. to prevent score. And then another touchdown they had was a third down scramble. So, the thing about defensive football, you try to keep your opponent's best people from beating you.
Right.
Now, I'm not taking anything away from Hot Springs' quarterback because he's dang good.
Yeah.
And we knew that going into it, but we made them beat us with the quarterback's legs.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. So you could take away a few positives from that.
One thing too, special teams, we would never want to leave that out. It wasn't our best performance. In kicking game, we were 1 out of 4 on extra points. So we've got to get better there. We've spent a lot of time this week on it so far. I thought that, initially the first kickoff return that they had, Hot Springs, they broke containment. We didn't contain as well as we should have. Those are little things that we've got to continue to get better on, and we're spending a lot more time this week on our special teams. But overall, it was a great ball game, one that we sure wanted to win. I feel like we let one slip away, but congrats to Hot Springs. We'll tip our hat, go meet them down the road sometime. We'll be back in the second quarter with 2 special guests I think you're going to love to hear from. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back, Gryphon fans. I told you in the first quarter we had some special guests here in the second quarter, and we are very excited to have 2 of our newcomer players, guys that just transferred in this year, Daryl Moore and Aaron Granado. Welcome to the show, guys.
Good to be here. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Daryl, don't hit me. You look mad. It's a tough linebacker right here next to me. All right, Daryl, tell me a little bit about your family, your brothers, sisters, your parents.
Well, I'm the oldest in my family. I have 3 siblings. I have a 12-year-old brother, a 7-year-old sister, and a little infant right now.
Okay. Aaron, how about you?
Well, I got 2 sisters. One's the oldest, one's the youngest. I'll be the middle child. And on my dad's side of the family, I have 2 brothers. One's the oldest and one's the youngest, so middle child on both.
Look in the camera and say, "Hi, Mom."
Hey, Mom.
All right. So, Daryl, I'll start with you. Tell us about your position you play here at Southwest.
I play middle linebacker and outside linebacker.
Okay, kind of the leader for the defense.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the leader for the defense. I feel like I'm there to keep my guys in check and keep their mind on the game.
Aaron, what about you? What position do you play?
I play receiver. I'm the outside receiver.
Okay.
And I feel like my position on the field, I try to keep my guys' head on swivel, make sure they're straight. They make a mistake, next play.
One thing about both of these guys, they're very, very smart young men, and they do multiple things. I know Aaron, he plays our wide receiver, but he pretty much knows all the receiver positions. So we could throw him in there at any position, and he'd know what to do. And same thing with Daryl. Daryl could play inside, outside linebacker. And I bet if I ask him, he's going to say Ray Lewis is his favorite player. He plays with that kind of tenacity. Coach, you got a question for him?
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell us what grade you're in. Tell us about your favorite subject here, at Southwest, because, you're a student before the athlete part. So,
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I'm in 11th grade. I think my favorite subject probably has to be math. I really like math. That's just my favorite subject. It comes down to it. I love to do some math, do some solve problems.
Okay.
Well, I'm a senior this year. My favorite subject has to be anatomy. I love studying the human body. It's a very unique thing to study. And I gotta say, my best hobby, I gotta say, is listening to music. I love listening to music.
I gotcha. Daryl, do you have any hobbies outside of football?
Yeah, I like to fish. I obviously work out, if you can't tell, and probably just hang out with my family.
Any protein powder company out there, if you want, hey, if you're looking for some type of sponsor or somebody to help promote your product, here's a guy. Coach, what about, that's the last thing, what's your favorite thing so far here at Southwest?
It's just the culture, you know. Everybody has a passion for the school and everything about the school. I just like that. I like how, you know what I'm saying, people carry themselves around here. So I probably say that's probably the main thing I like.
Aaron?
Oh, I gotta say the team, you know, the football team, coaches, because I feel like my coaches here, we can connect real close, and we have a good bond, and that's one thing I always look for.
You know, we got a big game this week, and this is a team that you guys are no stranger to. You've played them before. We're playing the number 1 team in the state, which is kind of weird to say. It's been Bryant for 5 years, it seems like, but we got the Conway Wampus Cats, and your, you know, former coach Buck James is over there. You know, what are we going to see from Conway? What do you guys expect to see? As far as not schemes, you don't have to give us a game plan, but are we going to see a tough team, you know, a physical team?
You're definitely going to see a lot of intensity from them.
Okay.
You know, knowing Coach James, he's going to make them push themselves to, you know what I'm saying, the extent and give everything they got no matter who we playing. So I feel like they're just going to give us every single part as what they would give Bryant. So we just got to come to the game knowing that and give everything that we got too. So
It's like we were talking yesterday in the defensive meeting, and I was telling the guys that, you know, their offensive linemen are in there setting weight records this week, you know, because they don't lift to maintain; they're lifting to get stronger every day of the year, and they lift about 300 days a year.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's kind of what you're alluding to is things like that. Aaron?
I think they're going to come in fast, you know, have no mental errors. I think that's going to be a lot of the game plans because, you know, anytime you make a mistake, you know, it can cost you, even if it's from lining up wrong or, you know, coming off the line too fast. They're going to have smart plays, and they're going to try to do what they got to do to, you know, stay in the game, keep up.
I'm gonna say these two guys, you know, every morning when I get to school about 7:30, Daryl's out on the field running drills by himself.
Yeah.
Every day after practice, Aaron comes up to me and says, "Coach, can I have your keys so I can get the extension cord, so I can get the jugs machine?" And he'll get that jugs machine out after practice, and he'll be here, and I'll have to walk out there at 8 o'clock and say, "All right, Aaron, I'm going home. Put it up."
Yeah.
You know, every night. So he's one of the last ones to leave, and Daryl's the first one to get here in the morning. So,
well, that's why you know for college coaches out there that when they come to look at players, that's one of the characteristics they look for. You know, is a kid a worker? What kind of attitude does he have? And both these young men are going to be playing on Saturdays in the future as well. And we're just awfully glad to have them. Excited to see them in green and purple and black sometimes. But we'll be back for the third quarter. I'm sorry, at a halftime show. We'll celebrate our MVTs, most valuable teachers and most valuable Gryphons. We've got 2 good ones. And then we'll be in the third quarter. We will look at Conway, kind of the schemes, players, what we expect to see. And then the fourth quarter, we will kind of have an overview of the conference. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Hey man, don't be recording me, man. Okay.
Don't come in here with that.
Okay, so I have been tasked to tell you that you are the MVT for the football team today, or this week.
Okay.
All your work is greatly appreciated, and we wanted to show it.
Are you recording it?
I am recording it.
No, I'm not looking like this.
Looking like.
Wait a minute, hold
like
on.
wonderful.
We need to start over.
Hold this.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you gonna do with this video?
Oh, this is going out all over the earth.
No, the devil is a lie. I did not sign a non-disclosure.
Wait. There's more. You also get a.
Okay. I'll take the Chick-fil-A and I'll take the certificate, but what I won't take is you videotaping me talking about it's going all over the school. No, I didn't sign a non-disclosure. But I do thank you guys. I don't know what I did to deserve all this.
You were just you.
And who would think it would be the coaches like the football people?
Look, let me tell you this. People appreciate their technology, and when it comes to that, I mean, who better?
Okay, well, I guess I'll take that. I'm gonna get this laminated and put it right up here on my wall.
Knock, knock. Hey. Hi. Okay, so I'm here to inform you that you are selected as the Teacher of the Week on the Little Rock Southwest Gryphons football team.
Thank
so there's
you.
your certificate.
Thank you.
But wait, there's more. You also get a Chick-fil-A.
Yes, food is always my friend. Thank you guys for selecting me, and I appreciate you as well. Thank you. I got it. Woo!
Welcome back, fans. This third quarter, we're talking about Conway. Conway week's always a fun week, special week for us because they're a Wampus cat. They have 2 legs to fight with all their might,
and 4 to run to speed of light.
And Conway's near and dear to him. He was one of the Wampus cats that played years ago. That seriously, when I was at Fayetteville, we played. I coached against him, and I never knew because he wasn't in our game plan. We never even looked at it. All right, let's talk Conway. Conway last year, 10-3. They were a semifinalist. 2 of their losses. They were probably the second best team in the state. 2 of their losses were to Bryant, and they played them very tough both times. They've got 5 returning offensive starters, 6 defensive starters. They're very multiple in what they do on offense and defense. Offensively, they love to play fast. Coach, talk to us a little bit about some of their players. What scares you the most about Conway's defense?
Well, they have a Mike linebacker, number 6. He does his job, Coach. He flies around. Really all 11 fly around, but that guy, he's a Mike linebacker for a reason. D-line, they don't have anybody just really returning as far as starting wise, but that defensive line, Coach, they're pretty darn good. And then you have the secondary, which is pretty sound. Each guy in that secondary, they fly around. I think they're all about 4.4, 4.5 speed in the secondary. And so they play the ball really well. And so to be the best, Coach, you have to beat the best. And so we have our work cut out this week.
We're excited about the opportunity.
Yes.
I mean, we are. I mean, we know that nobody's going to pick us to beat the number 1 team in the state.
Right.
But it's an opportunity for us to go out there and show what we can do and show the improvement we've made. Because we have come a long way in the last couple of years. And that goes, all the credit goes to the assistant coaches and our kids. They've done a great job on that. Coach, talk to us about Conway's offense.
Okay. Well, it all starts with the quarterback, Amalo. He's been a 3-year starter.
3? I thought he's like a 7-year starter.
It seems like that. He's been there for a long time. It all starts with him, and he's got a good quick release. It's hard to get any pressure on him. Some of that's with the offensive line. You're starting to, offensive line, you're starting to see Buck's imprint on them. They're starting to play with some nastiness. You watch them in the Springdale game. Yeah. I mean, they're knocking somebody down, dragging their crotch across them. I mean, they're real physical. As my man Trent Mallett in Conway would say, they are huge. I mean, they are. They're big up front.
Good morning,
Receivers have good skill. I mean, they're fast. Player number 1, he's probably the go-to receiver. They run a lot of different things with him, and you got to give Coach Kelly, the OC, a lot of credit because a lot of their success offensively, of course, is because of him. And they kind of they took it easy on us last year. We were outmatched with them, and they got their 35 and just kind of cruised the rest of the game. And I told him after the game last year I appreciated that. So, but anyway, they're sound. We know what we're getting into. We know what to expect. And it's a great opportunity, man. I mean, This is why you want to coach in 7A football, because you want to play the best. This is why you don't. This is the difference in coaching on a 4A, 5A, even 6A level. You're playing the best week in, week out.
Right.
And that's what you want. You embrace that. This has been one of my most fun weeks, so far of the season, just trying to prepare for them and, the chess match and, so really looking forward to it.
Well, one thing about it, we've kids had a great practice today or yesterday, I guess, and I think they seem very motivated, focused. They've done a good job of coming back down to earth, I guess, after last Friday. They've come put that game to bed. Kicking game-wise, Conway, just like always, they're very, very sound. They've got a younger kicker this year, maybe not quite the leg strength, but he's very, very accurate and does a good job. And, talking to Buck, our coach James the other night, what got me is if you're going to get Conway, get them now, because they're at ground level. He said there's about 50 kids that's been let go because of attitude or not wanting to practice. He's down to about 115, 120, so that's low numbers for him. But once they start moving forward, they're going to be better. Again, we are in a school setting, so you will hear some intercoms, so no panic. We'll be back in the fourth quarter. We'll spend a little more time in the fourth quarter talking about our opponent schedules, how they did last week, who they've got this week. We'll talk a little bit about some college football and wrap it up and get ready for the Conway Wampus Cats. We'll be back in just a second.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Go Gryphons. Welcome back, fans, to the fourth quarter. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the teams we've played and how they've done so far. And one of the teams we play next year, they're having a good season, and they play Rogers. So talk to us about Rogers and Southside.
Well, both teams are 3-0. Southside's much improved this year. I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. But I think Rogers is top 3 team in the state right now. I'd have Conway, Bryant, then Rogers.
Yeah.
That would be my ranking. So. I think Southside competes with them. I've seen Southside on film; they're very good. I just don't think they match up with Rogers for 4 quarters.
Yeah,
and Rogers is getting some players back who have been injured. So,
one thing about Southside, we're playing them week 3 next year. So we've got Heritage week 2 here, and then Southside week 3. We're still looking for a week 0, week 1 to try to fill that in. The head coach at Southside, Kim Dameron. He was my college coach when I played. So he was. I've known him for a long time, and he's a lot of college experience. He does a good job. Coach, talk to us about Heritage and Springdale.
Okay, so you have Rogers Heritage. They were open last week, and then you have Springdale High School. They ended up going to Conway last week, lost 49-0, something like that. Springdale, they run the flex mode offense, and I know that's tough because we tried it. And this game, I'm going with Rogers Heritage, War Eagles.
I'm going to go with Springdale.
Oh, Coach.
I'm going to break the tie. I'm going to go with Heritage.
Yes,
all right. All right.
I think Heritage's offense is going to present some problems.
Okay, all right.
With what they do, they've got a good play caller there. I think what they do is.
We'll know Saturday morning, won't we?
We'll call it.
Hot Springs and Parkview, big game of the week, really. And Hot Springs last week sat one of their best receivers out. He's back this week. Man, they are rolling. Hot Springs. They've got a quarterback. They've got receivers. They've got linemen. Defense is playing great, but not so fast.
Not so fast.
They play the Parkview Patriots, and Parkview, they've got 8 kids going both ways. I know that they're very, very, very talented, and I look for Parkview to beat Hot Springs. And let's go Conway. Could we play Conway? Let's go Cabot, Coach. Cabot.
All
and
right.
Jonesboro.
Well, the Cabot Panthers play the Jonesboro Hurricane. Man, Cabot. There's, nothing said there. Cabot's bigger, faster, not faster, but bigger and stronger, more physical. Physicality is going to win. Jonesboro hadn't seen anything like Cabot yet.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really close game, and I think Cabot will probably win that one too. All right, Coach, talk about North Little Rock and Central.
Coach, both these two teams, they haven't won a game yet. Somebody's got to come out this game and win.
You think?
Yeah. So
somebody's got to win.
Somebody's got to win, Coach. So I think Coach Robinson, he rallies his guys to be competitive this game. But I'm still going to take North Little Rock. They'll be 1-3.
North Little Rock's defensive line, very, very good. D-back's good. They've got a couple playmakers on offense. I think North Little Rock wins.
That game won't be close.
Let's talk Bryant Northside, Coach.
Okay, the Northside Grizzly Bears. Man, after losing the Southside Rebel Mavericks in week 1, they've really kind of fallen off. I don't know what's going on up there in Fort Smith, but the 0-3. This ain't the time to get that first win. And not with the Bryant Hornets. So Northside goes to 0-4. Bryant goes to 3-1.
Northside. We're by no means are we laughing at Northside.
Oh gosh, no.
Coach Curry does a great job. One thing that really struck me from what Coach James said the other day, I was talking to him and I said, you got Conway rolling. You guys are top in the state. He said, Coach, Bryant's got 17 returning starters from a state championship team. He said that's the best team in the state. And when you hear from him in that perspective, he's probably right.
And people are writing them off because they lost by 1 point. To
very
to a 5A, to a very, very talented 5A team that won a state championship a year ago. And come on,
all right,
Bryant's Bryant.
So we'll top 10 rankings this week. Cabot does drop out,
right?
But you got Conway 1. You still have Bryant number 4, and you have Rogers number 6. So 3 of the teams we've played are in the top 10. And obviously some of the best of the state are right here in our conference.
Right.
All right, Coach, let's talk about Pulaski Academy, Little Rock Christian.
Okay, well, about the only thing I have to go by is with the fact that we played both of these teams this summer in 7-on-7.
Right.
I'm going to give the edge to Little Rock Christian because of their quarterback.
Yep.
I think, above anything else, I think Little Rock Christian beats them. Probably be a close game. I don't really know much about either team, but
I agree. I think the quarterback. I think it's Walker White.
Yeah.
I think he's probably puts them over the top. But I'll say this: PA, they've got a quarterback and a cast and a brace out there.
Wow.
Looks like shouldn't be playing, and he's throwing for 7 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. They've beaten everybody they're supposed to beat, and so.
Well, I know from experience, in their offense, you're never going to hit the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's I used to bring 7 against 5, and you can't hit the quarterback.
So I think it's going to be a great game. It could go either way. Let's talk a little bit about some college. Let's talk Ohio State quickly and Notre Dame.
Oh, man. Coach Notre Dame's going to beat them.
Notre Dame.
Ryan Day gets put on the hot seat.
Man.
Who do you got?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? Mm-hmm. Notre Dame, I agree. I think they sweep them. Let's talk the hot team in the nation, Colorado and Oregon.
Everybody's saying Oregon's gonna humble them. I don't know. I watched Oregon play week 1. I watched a lot of college football. I wasn't too impressed with Oregon. Do they have the talent? Yeah, but Oregon's got Bo Nix at quarterback who may throw 6 interceptions. He may fumble the ball 5 times. The intangibles are all going Colorado's way. I'm going Buffs.
Buffs.
Okay, so primetime Dion, Buffs.
Buffs. I think the Ducks win this one. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a lot close. Real quick, we got to wrap this up. But we'll talk last game. And I know I don't even have to go to him.
Oh, no.
Bama and Ole Miss. Who you got?
All right. Well, yesterday I'm getting ready to go to
Just
practice.
give me the pick.
And I grabbed my dang Ole Miss hat because I wasn't even thinking that my daughter bought me this weekend because I went to the Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
Great atmosphere. Loved it at Oxford. And I said, no, it's Bama week. I got to put that hat down. I grabbed my Nebraska one instead. Coach, everybody's on the lane train. They're playing in Tuscaloosa. Saban sent a message to his players last week. Everybody's writing them off. They won 17-3 over South Florida. Oh gosh, the dynasty's dead. Bama never wins another championship. Bama never wins another game. Coach, Bama wins by 2 scores.
Hotty toddy. What do you say? What's that saying?
Hotty toddy got somebody. Who the hell we? Hey, flim flam bim bam. Ole Miss by them. Nope.
Ole Miss beats Bama. The dynasty. No more championships from Alabama. I'm just telling you, it's over.
Roll Tide.
We'll see you next week.